What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I'm back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, February 7th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments section who your favorite plays are for today. And finally, go to No House Advantage, the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up. Get up to $25 on your first deposit. Now we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Miles Bridges, Montrezl Harrell, Gary Trent, Hassan Whiteside, and Fred VanVleet on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. In first at number 5, we're looking at Terry Rozier, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 6,500, projected for 35. The goal is 46, and he's in the optimal lineup 30% of the time. We're seeing Charlotte go back to their 8-man rotation, which means big time minutes if it's a competitive game. I have Rozier in for 36 minutes, right around a fantasy point per minute, 23% usage, 19.5 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists. It is a pace down spot against Toronto. It is a difficult defensive matchup for someone like Terry Rozier. It's a lot of long arms, long bodies, tough to get to the rim a little bit, but for Terry Rozier, if this game is competitive, he's playing 36 minutes. His ability to score is something I can't overlook. Staying with the Hornets here at number 4, we're going Gordon Hayward, shooting guard, small forward eligible, 5,200, projected for 29. The goal is 40, and he's in the optimal lineup 31% of the time. It's basically the same story for Hayward as it is for Rozier. I gave him 32 minutes. He's a little bit worse as a fantasy performer, around 0.9 fantasy points, 15 points, 5 boards, 3.5 assists, and a stock and a half. Again, slightly difficult matchup against the Toronto Wings, but just another guy that's underpriced, given the fact that they don't really want to play more than 8 guys so long as it's competitive. To Washington we go at number 3, point guard eligible Spencer Dinwiddie is here, 5,900, projected for 35. The goal, 43.5. He's in the optimal lineup 33% of the time. Again, we know that Spencer Dinwiddie plays dramatically different with no Bradley Beal, and Beal is still out. So 32 minutes for Dinwiddie, around 1.1 fantasy points per minute, 26% usage, 17 points, 7.5 assists, and 5 rebounds, plus a stock. Pace down spot against Miami, difficult matchup. But again, this is a 5-game slate. We don't have a ton of choices. Dinwiddie's in the optimal 33% of the time. Even if you think I'm high here and I should bring it down to 25%, that's still a top 10 play today. When you can play Spencer Dinwiddie with no Bradley Beal, I think that you should be doing that, particularly at a price tag under 6K. At number 2, I'm going to Toronto now. Small forward, power forward eligible Scottie Barnes, 6,200, projected for 35.5. The goal is 45. He's in the optimal lineup 35% of the time. 36 minutes for Barnes. We know the starting 5 for Toronto is going to play 34 plus minutes no matter what, and upwards of 40. He's around a fantasy point per minute guy. He gets the benefit of taking on a bad Hornets defense that plays at an incredibly fast pace. So Scottie Barnes and the Raptors are gaining 2.4 possessions over their average. 15 points for Barnes, 9 boards, 4 assists, and 2 stocks. Just too cheap for right now, and especially too cheap for this matchup. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, like button, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, let me know in the comments who your favorite plays are, and then go sign up at No House Advantage using that promo code Awesemo. The number 1 contender for today is, unsurprisingly, Josh Giddey, point guard, shooting guard eligible, 6,500, projected for 38.5. The goal is 46.5. He's in the optimal lineup 37% of the time. I gave Giddey 34 minutes. It's a little over a fantasy point per minute now with no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the floor, 23% usage, and then close to a triple-double, 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Pace neutral spot against Golden State. They're expected to get beat by 12. I think Giddey's playing north of 30 minutes so long as it's even remotely competitive. Just don't lose by 30 and it should be fine. We continue to play Giddey a ton on FanDuel, and I see no reason for that to change today. Josh Giddey is your number 1 contender on FanDuel for Monday. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders for FanDuel for Monday, February 7th. The DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We are back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.